So at this point, I have my image of Michael separated, and I'm going to show you how to take it and put it on the stopwatch. So if I go back to him, um, here's what you have to do. Work on the layer that has everything visible. Make sure the background layer is invisible. Go to Edit, Copy Merge. What Copy Merge does is it copies what this looks like. If you just do copy, it's just going to grab this image, for example, the layer mask. That's a disaster. So come over here and say Edit Paste. All right, so there he is. And already I'm seeing a problem I need to fix. If you look carefully, you can see that some of the original image wasn't masked out very well in some key areas. So that's not particularly hard to fix. All I have to do is come in with an eraser tool, get a relatively large one, and make sure my opacity is set to 100. And I'm going to get a hard edge here so I don't accidentally erase part of Michael. And I can just come in here and very, very quickly get rid of any problems that I have around here that are popping up as I see them. Not a big deal at all. So that was pretty easy actually to select him and bring him in here. He's actually not a bad size already, but I think I'd like to make him a little bit smaller. So here's a trick with that. And part of the reason, by the way, I'm seeing so much here is because I guess I didn't erase stuff up here at the top. And so before I do anything else, I have to do this. So I'm going to come in here and clean this up a little bit more. And let's see what happens. Yeah. So you see how like that bounding box changes size. The reason why it's there is because there's pixels located up there. So again, looks like I'm erasing nothing, but if I click again on the move, no, the bounding box is still there, whatever. So if I hold down this and I just drag, there's a problem. He is going to be all out of proportion. I don't want that. So again, click the move tool, make sure you show transform controls, otherwise the bounding box won't be there, and hold the shift key down. And when he shrinks or is made larger, he will shrink or be larger based on what I have there. So what I'm happy with is I click the checkbox and that looks pretty good. But it doesn't look good enough yet. He looks kind of off, if you ask me. There's a couple things, like the image itself looks a little bit greenier for one, maybe slightly out of focus compared to him, and then also wherever he's standing there should be some kind of shadow, so that just looks weird. So I need to fix that. And I'm also noticing right there in his glasses, I should probably clean that up a little bit. That looks a little weird, but I can do that later. So, and then down here too by his pants. So I see a few little errors here and there that I could fix. But let me show you how to quickly add a shadow. If I make a new layer and bring it underneath. So it's kind of like a sandwich between these two. And then I come in with, like, say, for example, this brush. I'm going to get this nice soft round brush here. And I'm going to pick the color black. Why not? And I'm going to make that brush a little bit bigger. And I come in here. That will create a shadow, but that shadow looks a little bit too dark. But already just by the creation of that shadow, it just looks like he's like just standing there a little bit more. Anywhere that his hand or feet are coming in contact with the shoe, I'm going to put a little bit more shadow there. And I can take this layer and reduce its opacity and make it so that the shadow's, more like a shadow where it's there, but it's kind of see-through. And already, I think that looks so much better than no shadow. And you can be the judge. See the difference there? He's actually physically standing there. What I could also do, let's give this a try. Make a copy of him, just in case this doesn't work. Go to Filter, and I'll do a little blur. Let's see. Try slight motion blur, maybe. And I need to zoom out so I can see what this is going to look like. I don't want to blur him too much, but maybe just a tiny. You can see the preview. So I like him crisp, but I don't like if I go too far, that looks terrible, obviously. But if I bring him back maybe to something like that, let's just see. I have the before and after. So this is the before and this is the after, and it's very subtle, but I do feel like he just feels more like he belongs there. He's just a little bit softer now in the image. And then obviously there's just a little bit more cleanup I can do to this image in terms of separating out the background. I probably also want to take the image of the stopwatch, and I just don't see the need for all of this, so I might take this and maybe crop it somehow. So that's something else to consider as well, but I haven't decided quite yet. All these crazy ratios here, what I want to make it. So it's something to consider. Everything seems to be very stubborn. So I'll have to figure that out. That's what I have so far. So that's how you play with it. Again, save your image as a PSC and a JPEG when you turn it into me, so that if you want to go back and modify your layers, you have that ability to do so.